The book of Proverbs, chapter 1, verse by verse 1 through 7, the beginning of knowledge. And I pray you digest these teachings. Amen. Amen. Now, verse 1, the Proverbs of Solomon, son of David, king of Israel. The word Proverbs is used to describe speech in brief, forceful, and meaningful in expression, and clever words to impart wisdom and moral lessons. So Solomon is the son of King David and Bathsheba, who became the third king of Israel, known for his wisdom, wealth, and building projects. Solomon is a central figure for a skilled governmental leader. His reign is often seen as a time of peace and prosperity for a nation. Throughout this teaching, you will hear of three types of people or characters: one, the wise; two, the simple; and three, the foolish. In the following 7 verses is the beginning of knowledge, and we will break down each verse and word so you have the foundation of the teaching for the future chapters. We learned in verse 1, what is a proverb and who was Solomon? Now for verse 2. To know wisdom and instruction, to understand words of insight, to know, to perceive, to understand, to acknowledge. It is used to describe intellectual awareness, experiential knowledge, and intimate familiarity. Wisdom is skill, learning, ability, and this can refer to skill in your life, your trade, basically your employment. Instruction is what Torah is, the Torah to point to teach, inform, instruct, or guide. Understanding or insight is having the capacity for understanding and insight, often associated with wisdom and prudence. It implies a deep, discerning comprehension that guides one's actions and intelligent decisions. The deeper meaning of this word means to build. In order to build or construct something, one must have the ability to plan and understand the processes needed. We learn in verse 2 how to know wisdom and how to obey. Instruction to understand words of insight. Now for verse 3, to receive instruction and wise dealing. To receive or to accept is the act of taking something that is offered or given, here specifically in messages or even responsibilities, so you can have wise dealings or wisdom in your skills, shrewdness, insight, moral discernment, understanding of justice, intelligence, and prudence. We learn in verse 3 how to receive instruction to be wise in our daily dealings, in daily life, in our house, our jobs, and our family. Verse 4, to give prudence to the simple, knowledge and discretion to the youth. Prudence means the quality or state of being prudent, wisdom in the way of caution and provision, discretion, craftiness, carefulness, hence also the economy, to be frugal. Simple is a person who is gullible, naive, without moral direction, and inclined to evil. We learn in verse 4 how to give caution and provision to the naive. Now for verse 5, let the wise hear and increase in learning, and the one who understands obtain guidance. Hear means to obey. Guidance means sound advice and careful planning. So here in verse 5, we learned how to listen and obey sound advice. Verse 6, to understand a proverb and a saying, the words of the wise and their riddles. Presented a challenge or a puzzle that requires insight or wisdom to solve. We learned in verse 6, the words of the wise and their riddles presented a challenge or a puzzle requiring wisdom. Verse 7, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge. Fools despise wisdom and instruction. Now, to fear the Lord means to respect, reverence, and worship, but is strongly connected to trembling. A fool is a person who is morally deficient, to lack or to be without morals, to lack fairness, decency, and honesty. Despise means to hold in contempt, disdain, scorn, or to mistreat. So here we learn in verse 7 to worship the Lord gave you the intellectual awareness, and without it, you would lack morals, decency, and honesty. I look forward to providing a verse by verse teaching as we journey together through the book of Proverbs. Shalom, shalom.